Welcome to Safe Travels. Today we're going to talk about. My name's Tony Loop, and I want to talk about New York City. I've actually been in New York City. I had to go twice for some business meetings like the past week, and every time I go to New York City, I live close enough where I could drive, or I can take a bus. I take a bus because there's no reason for me to drive around New York City. You can get cars, taxis, buses, subways, plenty of trains, and you can walk. And walking in New York City is one of the best things ever. You can see sights, Rockefeller Center, all the museums. There's so much to see in New York City. And what's amazing about New York City is it's not just about the sights; it's the people. You will see people. You'll see some of the strangest people ever. Carnegie Deli, I happened to walk by today, and I saw this guy, and he's panhandling. He's shaking his cup, looking for some change. And it's just who I am. I stopped for him, and I'm like, okay, the guy's not crazy. You got to be a little careful in New York City because there's some crazy people walking around. This guy was not crazy. And you could tell. I mean, he's standing outside Carnegie Deli. There's cops inside Carnegie Deli all the time. So it's not, But so I walk over, and I give him $1. People throw him change. I just give him $1. And I said, so, why you out here? And he's an alcoholic. Old vet, whatever. He's been there forever. But you can always get some interesting stories. I don't really recommend to most tourists to go up and start talking to panhandlers. But it's amazing what you can get. But you don't know. You got to be a little careful. I know in France, actually, there was a group of panhandlers in the underground, the subway. They were just drunk as can be. They actually got arrested. So you got to be a little careful. And in New York City, there are some crazy people. The last time I was there, when I was walking, there was this guy wearing all sorts of. He had like a fur collar, the crazy hat, and he was talking to himself and just being as flamboyant as possible. There's Central Park, with the horse-drawn carriages. NBC Studios, Rockefeller Center. There is some incredible stuff to see in New York. New York's great. I just recommend you got to be a little careful. Don't go. I'm talking about Manhattan. The downtown, area. You got to be careful. There's buses everywhere. You can jump on and jump off, just like in London and everywhere else. But New York City's awesome. If you get the opportunity, again, I don't really recommend talking to too many of the panhandlers, but it's a great, interesting town, city to walk around in, to really get to know, to take some time. I can tell you the Plaza Hotel. I will say this: I had a meeting at the Plaza Hotel, and very nice hotel. I'm sure it's very expensive. What was just amazing, and they have rental units, so you can actually stay there long term. I believe. I was sitting there waiting for the meeting, and I'm looking over, and a couple of the bellhops were talking with this young girl, and her mom was right around, but I think they had given her a pair of gloves. That they wear. They wear the white gloves and they have the hat. And for a minute there, I think she took the guy's hat and she was wearing the hat. So I think somehow there was a relationship here. This isn't the first time they've seen this girl, but they were. It was so cool. It was like out of a movie. They were friendly. The whole staff was great that I saw. I thought it was incredible. So I've never stayed at the Plaza. I'm sure it is expensive. If you can afford it, I'm sure it'll be a nice place to stay. But if you have to see New York, and you have to walk the streets of New York. Okay, that is when you're really going to see New York. And you got to go down Times Square, and you got to pay attention to the people. Because you will hear and see some of the craziest stuff ever. But I love New York. So that's Safe Travels. We're going to leave it at that. All right. Thank you.